Right?
I want to be honest about Echo. They don't shy away from how unlikable she is. They just keep showcasing it as though they think she's fine. But the idea that she's actually Echo from the comic book or she has anything that would remotely be appealing to us in the audience is completely absurd. She is a villain. She evidently can't speak. She can't hear. She has a prosthetic leg. She's been trained to be an assassin, but she was duped in by the white trash people in the last episode. Even though she held her own against Daredevil before she was trained. Um, yeah, this show is so boring and bland and predictable that I was sort of shocked in this episode that I actually had something that I liked. So let's get to that. Not much going on. This is the absurdity of her new power sets, right? We've had that in a couple episodes now where it's like the alien Native American women have some sort of powers that are transferable to their ancestors, and that just keeps showing up. Yeah, this is her normal face. It is the, dangerous diva, you know, witch face. Okay, so this was the scene that was teased in some of the trailer footage where it's like flashback to very, very young Maya. Ice cream stand. So what I don't like is I don't like this, the mocking guy. Like, use your words, young girl. Like clearly she should be able to say that I can't speak. Like it wouldn't be hard to teach a child. Kids know. Clearly, I feel like this is so hypocritical that no one who made this show was around enough people. They talk about how many consultants they have. My daughter is a sign language interpreter. First off, most deaf people can make some sort of noise. They know how to read lips. They can make certain sounds that mean certain things. They know how to tell people that they can't hear or they can't speak. There is. It's not as though that she's not mentally ill. However, Kingpin sees this. She says, "Wait here." He goes into the alley and just becomes Kingpin. This is the best season. This is the best moment in the entire season. No offense to the Daredevil scene. It was so badly choreographed. It was just freaking dog crap from top to bottom. I hated it. Charlie Cox was fine and he looked fine, but everything else was an injustice. And then they made his character dumb because he just sort of like toddles off somewhere and leaves her to her own devices, even though she'd killed somebody. Here, the Kingpin would just become Kingpin. It's to the point where he beats and kills this person, and then is like, "Hey, listen, bring me another jacket. I don't want Maya to see this." And instead, she not only sees it, she runs over and gives him a little kick, and then they kind of walk off together. Um, this is probably like by far the best scene, and then we cut to now. No, sorry, we cut to another flashback scene with them being like the creepy you're ready for something. I guess this is sort of the precursor to this is more of the backstory before the Daredevil stuff. Him being true Kingpin and all of that. So all of this still works. The other piece of this that actually makes it very Kingpin is the interpreter who would be in the know about all the inner workings of this conversation. She's dismissed from the room, and then you hear her being executed in the background while they continue to just enjoy their meal. And because Maya can't hear anything, so she's even oblivious. Well, she's not oblivious. She's extremely guilty and knows all this stuff's happening. So, best scene of the series so far. And after seeing this episode, I got a feeling this might be it for the whole show. Um, it is her face to face with him, who just wants to quote have dinner. She not only has the witch face, she does mean things where she took the wine and pours it down the table and it's sort of like the Marvel humor of I know you still want me dead, blah blah blah. Um, before you get to, and again, this is 15 minutes. But I want to get to this one line. I think it's in this shot. Let me see if it's coming up. There's a line here that's very, very important because I think it was just like you can't believe she says it. Well, haha, she says it. Get it? It's right before Henry says something about making her a queen pin. I kid you not, that's the line. Being a queen pin. So then we cut ahead to grandma. Grandma's walking along, and you get this repeating thing with this other fat, frumpy Indian lady being rude to her, and then they have sort of like the flashback sequence. We end up with the ancestral flashback stuff, the hallucination things, and she actually, unlike any of the other times, because this has happened to her benefit, like her hands glowed, she was able to push her foot out of the train, and things like that have happened. Now here, she goes almost into like an epileptic phase where she doesn't really know what's going on. Henry panics and ends up taking her to grandma. Okay. Yeah, this poor actress, she is so in over her head. They this girl has no ability to emote, like, at all. I think I skipped over, well, we'll go back if we need to. Okay, so this is them chatting, and this is the gray morality world that Marvel is in. New York, California elites are in. This lady lost her daughter in that car accident, and this is the granddaughter. Okay. Then the dad, who's a criminal, basically just took the kid. And the entire conversation basically is she's admitting that she basically just couldn't deal with it. Just couldn't deal with it. I know I lost my kid. It's like ripped my heart out. And she's like, yeah, but I needed you. You were all I had. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I couldn't handle it. You don't know what it's like, I guess. I mean, I couldn't handle it. And it's like, I'm an awful human lecture. And you wonder why she turned out an awful human who ultimately become an assassin and stuff. And then they have a brief conversation about the hallucination stuff. And then this is about the giving of the birth and hallucinations. And it's so terrible. Suddenly she's doing this in the rain. Even though all this happened, it didn't go anywhere, I guess. And then this is how this happened. She's crying and talking and blah, blah, blah. And then we cut to a scene where she's making, I assume, the uniform. And then for some reason, we have a quick shot of Bonnie. I don't know why we have the shot of Bonnie. I'm at the point now where I'm thinking that they had a backstory that got cut out. Maybe they're gay and they were supposed to be a couple. I don't know. I thought they were cousins, but we treat Bonnie as though she's something different than that. It's so weird that we keep cutting to Bonnie. Then we cut to Lip Biscuit. Yes, cousin Biscuit. Um, this actually is a callback to like 2 or 3 episodes ago. I don't know what we're on episode 4. So it must be episode 2 where he trashes the truck while he's helping Maya, and it's about going to search the truck, but his dialogue is about, don't throw something away if you can fix it. Get it? Get it? Aren't they clever? No, they're not. It's freaking garbage. And then she's making the costume uniform. Okay. So yeah, I did miss it. So he tells her earlier where he's going to be and what to do. Now let me go back because I want to show you how bad this other scene is. Okay, they put this contact in her eye, and he puts an earpiece in his ear so that when he's talking, come on now, I got it. We got to be able. There you go. Yeah, I kid you not. So somehow she has a contact in her eye, so when he's talking, he sees this. She sees his hand signing, and then when she's signing, he hears the words. Okay? Put a pin in that. That's actually what they set up in the first part of this episode. It's so irritating and distracting. Because then later, when we're back at this scene, they don't do it consistently. They do it intermittently. So sometimes they do it and sometimes they don't, which makes it even worse. It's awful. It's so distracting. What they wanted to do was come up with a way of handling the fact that Kingpin never learned to sign, and you got to be able to have all these scenes where it's just the two of them, especially since you set up in the opening scene that he wasn't going to tolerate anyone hearing all their business. He killed the interpreter. This scene is all about the hammer. And for those of you who don't remember the hammer, this is the hammer that he killed his dad. Yeah, that's it. This scene took forever for us to get through. So we literally have let's see. Okay, so we get to this shot where she goes in the room. So 8 minutes, almost 8 minutes, let's just say 6 before she ends up back on the motorcycle. And long story short, she's just not going to do it. Don't know why. She tried to kill him last time. She's tried to kill people left and right, but for some reason here, she's gonna hold the hammer back. Okay, on the motorcycle, she's supposed to be meeting him if she's going to go back into the world. She has a flashback about everything, and again, just gets on the motorcycle. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Her stunt double is constantly on the motorcycle, and then she doesn't show up because he thinks he's one. He thinks that he has convinced her to come into his world, and doesn't. And then you don't get to see him. You just see him go, "Oh," and he just that's it. That's how the episode ends because she doesn't show up. Yeah, trust me, he's actually mad there. He's not constipated, but poor Vincent D'Onofrio. I feel so bad for him, man. Yeah. So this is the slow deterioration and destruction of their great villain Kingpin, which has probably been one of the best portrayals of a villain, probably up there with Thanos and Loki. And they're going to I assume, finish messing that up in the next episode because nothing makes any sense. Our character that's supposed to be the show is supposed to be about, I would assume, was supposed to be some sort of redeeming characteristics that would give her a purpose in the grand scheme of things. Instead, she's still an idiot because she went back to this area. I don't know if she thought she was going to take over Kingpin's business or sabotage Kingpin's business, but either way, she put all of her friends and family at risk to be in Kingpin's warpath. And I assume that is also going to come to a head here at the end. Otherwise, this show has even less point to it. So, one more episode. Dear Lord, show is a mess. Isn't this why they dumped it all at once? Indeed. I watched it so you didn't have to. Take care, everybody.